Welcome everyone to OCM Magazine. My name's Ken, editor of the publication. Today I'm joined by my co-host Jay, who is an incredible contributor to the publication. And I also have Fahmid with me, whose project is called AI-ORBIT. So we are going to have a fun time today. And I just want to start things off and talk to Fahmid and say, hey, tell us a little bit about yourself, what your background is, and kind of how you got started in crypto and in NFTs.
Yeah, thanks for having me here, Ken. It was really nice meeting you in person in NYC, and I really love what you're doing. I think OCM Magazine is amazing to like uphold creators like myself, and then show the community what we can be capable of and doing together. Yeah, so a little bit background about myself. I was born and raised in Bangladesh. It's a country off of South Asia, and I was always into technology, like trying to see what computers can do, what coding can do. My first kind of interaction with computers was through like a Web2 game, and it was very interesting where it made you build a lot of different things. And playing that game, it gave me a lot of inspiration in wanting to create something on my own that's visually appealing and also, like kind of shares the excitement and then entertainment with other communities as well because it was an online game. So from there on, I started to learn coding and then wanting to, design. And this was back when I was 12 years old, and I've been like, just coding ever since. And from there, it's just I wanted to pursue my goal of programming and computer science. So I came to Canada in 2016. I started to study computer science in University of Alberta, and yeah, doing projects here and there. Wanted to get into Web3 and moved to Toronto recently, and I've just been like doing my thing ever since.
How about, can you tell us how you got your start in OCM? Like, how did you find out about it? And, was there, a particular event or anything that got you involved in there?
Yeah, so for OCM, when I was first really wanting to get into Web3 and NFTs and the blockchain space in general, um, it was really like a bull market at that time, and I was having that FOMO of, oh no, like as an engineer, I want to learn how to do blockchain stuff. I want to learn smart contracts, but I had like very low kind of involvement with it, where I didn't have like a, like you when you're full-time job at something, you really dig into it and then learn about it and then doing it hands-on rather than just reading about it. So I wanted to get full-time into it and applied for different jobs with Web3, even though I didn't necessarily have Web3 experience. And it was something that, really boosted me and wanted me to really get into NFTs more. So I started buying up really random NFT projects and then seeing how they work, started reading their smart contracts. Like it's safe to say those are projects from really long time before, and they didn't really stand out as much. But then Danny reached out to me like on an application that I submitted for MetaGood, and he was interested in talking to me, and I got really, like happy that okay, like I don't have that Web3 experience as much, but Danny Yang, this person is trying to give me an opportunity to learn and then help him do something, and then he'll help me learn as well. And so I did some research on Danny and then saw his background on, his previous companies and how he grew it, and then all the knowledge he has. And I really got excited in wanting to work. So I got into a mode where I started learning everything about Web3 before I started talking with him. And my only goal was to impress him and then make me get on board with him so that he can teach me stuff. And then I can give him value on my side. So from there on, I started working with him, and we tried a bunch of different aspects of getting MetaGood into Web3. And this one fine morning, Danny launched On-Chain Monkey. And I was outside and I just checked my phone, and just within minutes, it was minted out. And there was the community basically in the next few days started hopping onto Discord, and then the whole buzz created. And that's how I got started with OCM. And it was really, really exciting working with the On-Chain Monkey, team, and then seeing the community grow. And I was also telling people in the NYC events that it's amazing seeing how much OCM grew and the amount of people, different background people it connected. and also gave a chance for a lot of projects like myself to be born within this ecosystem. So yeah, that's how I got started with OCM and my involvement with it.
That's amazing that you got started, from the very beginning and you saw the evolution of OCM and you saw it grow and you participated in the community early on. Um, that's an excellent place to be. So that's really cool that you have that type of insight from back then, and now here you are, with your own project. And I wanted to turn it over to Jay.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for being here again. So tell us about your project specifically, and what do you want to highlight here today?
Yeah, so to give a little background, noting onto the on-chain market community, we have this, you guys are familiar, but for those who are watching and not that familiar, OCM has these prop house proposals every season, and it rewards people with Ethereum, certain level of Ethereum, where you're doing a certain project. If the community sees the value in it, they give you the 5 ETH or X amount of ETH to really push your project further, and can congrats on winning the latest prop house proposal.
Thank you.
And through this proposal, I actually submitted my own proposal as well in round 1 and also round 2. And the first round, it was called AI Workshop. So I wanted to show people the power of ChatGPT, because it was a really new thing at that time where ChatGPT released, and then all these image generators released as well. And I was mind blown because someone who's so involved in design and coding from a really young age, I got to see the evolution of this tool, ChatGPT, and other like Midjourney, DALL-E, and it just, it affected me in a little different way than I would imagine it did to most people, because I got excited and I'm like, okay, there's so much possibility with it. I can create so many things. I can layer so many things on top, and just like a lot of different things. So I wanted to teach this to people, and I created this workshop proposal. And through this workshop proposal, I wanted to show that the possibility of ChatGPT and Midjourney and DALL-E, all these tools. So I created, like a AIORBIT project. And when I first started it, I went to ChatGPT and I asked it, "Can you help me make an NFT project?" And it was like, "Yes, of course, let's do this." So I gave it like all the different prompts where I was trying to get it to generate on-chain art, and in a way that is scalable to 10,000 NFTs. And at that time, I was thinking, okay, maybe it's a little too much for ChatGPT, and I'm just stretching it too much. But to my surprise, it was like, yes, of course, let's do it. It was more excited than me in some terms of making this project. But there was a process involved where I had to generate the concept art through other programs like Midjourney and DALL-E, and then saw these orbits, and then it clicked in my mind, okay, how do I make this on-chain? And from there on, I saw that these orbits, these kind of colorful and spinning animated orbits, can be modified to be billions of possibilities. So I took that concept and I went to ChatGPT and I explained what the concept of the art is, where it's a bunch of orbits and then it's spinning, and it can have certain levels of attributes to it, like the radius of it, the rotation speed and all that.
Let me jump in here real quick. So you were probably like a very early user of ChatGPT, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow, that's very cool. But yeah, awesome.
So yeah, I think you can see my screen now. On the left, I have the Discord server for AIORBIT. On the right, I have our AIORBIT homepage. And I'll talk a little bit about the AIORBIT homepage right now. And this is where people can see their different AI orbits, this amazing animated on-chain art. And all of these are actually SVGs. So if you zoom into it more and more, it's just going to be sharp and crisp. And knowing that your NFT can do this is amazing. And it's, it looks beautiful. And these were all created by ChatGPT, where it came up with a smart contract and thought of the different attributes and how it can be mapped onto 10,000 different NFTs, and the possibilities are 6.9 billion, unique combinations of this. And yeah, so did you have like any specific questions on this specific NFT that could address to?
Yeah, no, I just I believe I was reading that you're planning on doing a burn at some point. You want to go more into that?
Sure. Yeah. So our AIORBIT is a proof of concept project where we're trying to show people that through ChatGPT and through these AI tools, there can be a lot of possibilities of doing different things. And AIORBIT is one of the example where you can have access to this AI community and then do a lot of fun things through AI that adds value. One of the example is our AI Bolt bot, and AI Bolt Bot is on our Discord server, and it's going to be released on Twitter this week as well, where you can talk to AI Bolt. And the brain of AI Bolt is basically essentially ChatGPT behind the scenes. And anything you ask AI Bolt, it should be able to answer. So one of the example that a lot of people ask is, if you had to provide like some service, or like, how do I make this recipe? What stories can I tell my daughter when I put her to bed? It gives you all these different answers, and it's always different and acts just like ChatGPT. So for example, if you wanted to ask it something, let's say you go to our chat channel on Discord and you say, "Hey, Bolt, can you say hi to OCM Magazine?" And then it types, and yeah, it
Very
basically gives
cool.
you answers. Yeah.
I thought it said a big virtual hug. I'm like, oh, that's awesome. It's hugging us.
Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. So you can kind of branch off of this and then ask it different things where, it remembers the context of the conversation it had before. So it can, it sprouts a lot of different fun conversations where you
Yeah,
can ask
unique
it to
dialogue and yeah.
exactly like the dialogue, and then, it tells you this one thing, you can tell it to do another thing. And we're releasing this for Twitter as well. And I feel like the engagement on Twitter is going to be pretty fun, where you can tag it and then, ask it to do something else. And
Yeah,
it
it'll
can read the
reply.
last few, yeah, it can like learn the last few tweets to kind of give a context on what was going on in the conversation. But yeah, kind of getting back to your question on the burn, we're planning to sort of, after giving this background on the AIORBIT project, AIORBIT collection, because it's a proof of concept, there's only certain amount of things we can do with it. For example, when ChatGPT created it, it was meant to be like a showcase for the proposal, where we wanted to show this is possible with AI. But now we're reaching far beyond it, where we are launching a new collection called AI Bolt, and it's going to be a much smaller collection where each AI Bolt NFT is trainable. So when you talk to ChatGPT, when you talk to AI Bolt on Discord or Twitter, it remembers that context, and then it sort of learns you as a person, and then it answers accordingly. With our AI Bolt collection, it's going to learn you more as a person in depth. So you can tell it things about yourself. It's going to, on the background, save it on a database and then retrieve it when it's talking to you specifically. And you can even ask it to modify your art, or you can ask it to make art, and a lot of different things that we have planned for our ecosystem through AI Bolt. And it's necessary for us to move to this AI Bolt collection because of the traits, and then the mechanics of how it's going to work with our ecosystem. Because using AIORBIT as the base is very different from having a very fine-tuned AI Bolt as a base, because now we know the product market fit on what our holders want and where we can move from it. So that's why we're introducing a burn, where each AIORBIT holder can get a chance to retrieve this AI Bolt collection by burning 5 AIORBITs and then mapping it onto AI Bolt. And essentially what that's going to do is reduce the supply for AIORBIT, and then that's great for having a very like limiting the amount of supply, and um, kind of moving people on to this new AI Bolt NFT, which can be as a base to trainable AI that you can teach it stuff, and then have its own personality and create art and do things very differently on the website, on Discord, on Twitter,
Yeah,
based
that'll
on who
be
it's interacting with.
sorry to cut in. I just wanted to ask a question. So that'll be reflected for the ones you burn, and then like the database will kind of take in your input you've used it before, and that'll all be reflected in the new NFT. Is that correct? That was kind of my understanding from looking at the tweets and then like kind of doing some research. So clarify
Right.
if I've missed anything, but
Yeah. So essentially, the traits for AIORBIT, since it's 5 burn, it's going to be in a specific way mapped onto AI Bolt in AI Bolt's different traits. And when it does that, it's already populated with various levels of trait attribute values. For example, one of them is learning capacity, how much you can train your AI Bolt. The other one is knowledge domain. You can have it excel at DeFi, and then a lot more different things. And then you can use that to interact and then do different things where if you give it information, it will be very specific on, for example, if it's knowledge domain is art, it will save that in an art version where it's a very creative AI bolt and then helps you in those sort of ways.
that's cool. So it's almost like a kind of like an AI brain NFT almost.
Yeah, we're basically saying it's like a AI companion where you have
That's
your own
cool.
personal AI. Yeah, you can train it, you can ask it to do things, but yeah,
So
it's
you
very
have your
exciting.
own like chat GPT brain, or like I don't know exactly know the term, but your own like separate, you're not just going off of obviously the main chat GPT. You have your own AI you've been building for this project specifically.
Yeah, so basically ChatGPT, the company behind ChatGPT, OpenAI, they have their own API where they let you use the same models for ChatGPT, and you can, like kind of put on different functions of the codes and then have it do different things based on the prompts and responses.
And
And
learn.
yeah, exactly. And it learns. And our goal is to kind of, right now we're using ChatGPT 3.5 Turbo. That's their version of, ChatGPT 3 for APIs. And we already submitted our waitlisting requirements for GPT-4
Cool.
access because it's very limited, but GPT-4 can provide us a lot more in terms of, what you'll be able to do. And once we get that, we can even integrate things like image recognition, where like if you, for example, send a picture to our AI bot on Twitter and say, hey, AI bot, this is what I have in my fridge. What can I make with it? It can tweet you with a bunch of different things you can actually make with the ingredients you have in your fridge. So this level of access and
Wow.
technology is going to be possible the more we grow, because AI technology is growing way like really fast, and we want to latch Web3 community onto that and then fly on in the same direction. And I think we're doing it in a very scalable way where we're setting up the base, we're setting up the AI bolt structure, and then having people on board to it, and then building on top of it, improving it, and like just increasing the fun and value add as we go.
Very cool.
That's
Yeah, so
amazing.
just kind of bringing it full circle. To me, it kind of sounds like, how Danny and the OCM group have a very, good expertise in Bitcoin and Web3, and you got in with that early. Sounds like you're turning yourself and your project into the early AI OCM field. And so to me, it sounds like if anybody's interested in AI, this is a guy you want to talk to and a project you want to be involved with.
Yeah, definitely. I think we are at the very we're at the very forefront of AI and Web3 mix, where there's not a lot of projects who are doing similar things with the scalability in mind and what we can achieve. And I think AI is a great way for the Web3 community to move forward and grow as well, because the technology is growing fast, and there's a lot of value that AI can add to basically the Web3 community and NFTs, because they go hand in hand. And with the things we already achieved in just 3 weeks and really small team, it's just it really excites me to know what we can achieve with a bigger team and then more support, and then just going straight at it with more technology, and it's really exciting times for us.
For the viewers who are interested in getting started with your project, can you maybe explain the best way for them to do that and perhaps you could demonstrate it by sharing a screen. What would be the best way to get involved in your NFT project?
Yeah, so let me just share my screen as well. And the best way right now is to buy our to buy an AIORBIT from the OpenSea secondary market. Our floor price is low as well, so it's the best time to get in. And it was a free mint for everybody to show the power of AI. And what we're doing is letting people grab a couple of these AIORBITs and then really be prepared for AI Bolt collection, where the burn process for AI Bolt is in a way where 5 AIORBITs do guarantee you 1 AI Bolt. But we are also doing, whitelisting where we're trying to raise money for our team so that we can grow more. And those whitelists are not guaranteed to give you an AI Bolt. So the best way to get started with our community is grab an AIORBIT from the secondary market like OpenSea, and you can go to our Discord and then connect your wallet, verify it, and then start chatting with AI Bolt. And just watch out for AI Bolt on Twitter. You can see all the different interactions and tweets that AI Bolt does automatically through ChatGPT Brain, and watch people talk to AI Bolt on Discord and interact yourself as well. Just prepare for the AI Bolt collection where it will let you do a lot more different things. But yeah, that's the best way to get started.
Yeah, this is very exciting. I mean, the technology is it's absolutely mind-blowing, and the sky is the limit. I mean, there's so much opportunity moving forward from here. And you being an early adopter, in OCM and with ChatGPT and developing this project, it's quite notable. So you're an extremely bright and talented individual. So we're definitely honored to have you here on the show today.
Yeah, and if I can, I really wanted to show this, cool visualizer thing we made just to show people that, one of the applications of what you'll be able to do. So, so this is my screen and this is my AIORBITs. And one of the things we want people to do is explore their creativity with AIORBITs and AI Bolt. And what this will allow you in the future is far more than what you see now. But one of the example is our visualizer that we built. If I turn on this visualizer, so this is my AIORBIT, and it's very sensitive, but it's understanding the different frequencies. And you can see, like, as I pause and talk, it kind of reflects that and then moves as well. And the idea is that we want people to use this and then really interact with their AIORBIT in a very, like, unique kind of way. And it's just to show that, okay, this is what you can do. Maybe in the future, it's actually possible, since this is just on-chain SVG code, where you can make all of your orbits kind of together and then dancing to music or like doing different things and then creating a unique art just through that and enabling a lot more different aspects of it.
I've been kind of a lurking fan, and I knew you were connected with the OCM community, and I wish you the best, and you definitely have a fan here. So best of luck to you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Fahmid, for coming on today and showing us your incredible talent, incredible project here. And we can't wait to, talk again in the future.